You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
An absolutely insane game of football. Look, Tottenham 1, Chelsea 4. Ange Postecoglou finally defeated in the Premier League at the hands of former Tottenham manager Mauricio Pochettino. Oh, there's that word again. Narrative riddled in it. Chelsea didn't play that well. Nico Jackson scored a hat-trick. Probably should have had 4 or 5 goals, actually. There was 2 resendings off for Tottenham. There probably should have been more. And there was multiple disallowed goals. What better way to celebrate an amazing result? It's an amazing result. And I would like to celebrate by offering you this. Listen, do you fancy some free beers this Christmas? There's no better way to enjoy Premier League action over the festive period than with a free case of beer. Exclusive beers, courtesy of Beer 52. Thanks to my partnership with Beer 52, you can simply go to beer52.com/football therapy and cover just the £5.95 postage to get the creative beer free. Oh, beers and snacks. This month they've been celebrating Oktoberfest, which we all know is the best thing in the world for beer. They've teamed up with some of the best independent breweries across Germany and beyond to launch 8 new exclusive beers. I've got the Wiper and True Oktoberfest beer here. I think this is the most head I've ever had. I'm not getting a job at anything to do with Oktoberfest with pouring like this. The beer itself, though, absolutely delicious. An array of incredible beers, snacks, you get Ferment magazine as well, which is really interesting. Get yourself a free crate of beer this festive period. Beer52.com/football therapy. Click the link in the top of the description. Enjoy the football, enjoy the beer, get free beer. Who doesn't love free beer when you've just beaten Tottenham away 4-1? Ladies and gentlemen, look, let's have it right. Let's get it in early. Well done, Tottenham. You played pretty well when you went down to 9 men. You gave me a heart attack twice. Once with Eric Dyer with an offside and Bentancur. And we nearly, ladies and gentlemen, we absolutely nearly screwed this up. We went, they were down to 9 men. They were losing their heads. Levi Colwill tried to get himself sent off nearly. We just didn't show any maturity once we had the man advantage. And look. I'm zen. Not only were they down to 9 men, but they were playing a ludicrously high line. Like, Cheech and Chong high, bro. It was absolute suicide, bro. Absolutely suicide. And this scoreline is what should have happened, but it shouldn't have happened so late. And, we're going to break it all down, ladies and gentlemen. So settle in, drop a like on the video if you're feeling happy with that result. Riddled in narrativity, indeed, the return of Mauricio Pochettino against undefeated Big Ange Postecoglou. You couldn't write it. It is prime Barclays, and in the opening 10, 15, heck, maybe even 20 minutes, I wanted to turn the TV off, go for a walk, possibly into the sea. But fortunately for me, I'm not near the coast, so I decided to stay and watch the rest of the game. And after Tottenham scored the opener, we settled into the game. But how did we set up? Well, we went with a 4-2-3-1, probably a bit more of a 4-2-3-1 today, against Tottenham's 4-2-3-1. It was absolute chaos, this game. Levi Colwill and Captain Reece James on the flanks. Disasi and Silva, the centre-backs, in front of Rob Sanchez. Enzo Fernandez, Moises Caicedo, with Conor Gallagher in the midfield. Cole Palmer, who, by the way, looking excellent indeed. Raheem Sterling, which is the most frustrating player of planet Earth, as we know. And Nico Jackson up front, who has added 3 Premier League goals to his tally now with a respectable 5 Premier League goals in, 10 games? A goal every other game? Horrendously juiced against a high line of 9 men. We need to remember context. We saw substitutions from Marc Cucurella at half-time coming on for Levi Colwill, which was a really intelligent move from Mauricio Pochettino. Colwill was on a yellow card and his head was gone. He wanted to fight, so Cucurella comes on. Naturally, Gusto comes on for Reece, 77 minutes, which was protecting Reece, getting Gusto a good player some minutes, though he got himself booked. In fact, 3 of the 4 players who came on got yellow cards: Mudryk, Gusto, and Ugochukwu. Now, Ugochukwu came on when we were still at 2-1, and I'm thinking, oh my god, we're just trying to see out this game against 9 men because we are on the friggin' ropes, bro. We'll talk about player performances in a minute. But look, man, look at Dubois, the CFC Twitter account, tweeted this. I'm just going to read it out because I was going to put it on the screen. For the first half, 4 disallowed goals, 2 goals, 1 red card, 2 potential red cards on top, not given. Manager on the yellow, 2 big injuries. Absolutely insane first half. So, in the opening few minutes, the 6th minute, Tottenham scored their one and only goal. And it was Dejan Kulusevski, and it was really from Levi Colwill turning his back on the shot, which deflected it in. Rob Sanchez, nothing you can do. By the way, pleased with Big Rob in goal. So, yes, there we go, a goal up. Sterling equalises in the 23rd minute, but they rule it offside. They disallow it because it hits his hand. Pretty blatant. I don't even know why I was trying to think, right, like, why is Sterling celebrating? Because he knows it's just gone bang off his hand. Maybe he thinks, like, you might as well celebrate to try and blag the referees if maybe there isn't, like, I don't know, a friggin' like camera angle, because if you go, oh god, then you look guilty, I guess. Anyway, you know. But just before that, Romero, who by the way, at this point could have been sent off, although I think there's 2 instances in the first half that it was Udogi that got booked for a yellow, and he could have been on a red. I think that's a very dark orange, but he later gets sent off, of course. And Romero kicks Levi Colwill's calf, but it was a bit of a petulant tap more than dangerous. So, yeah, I don't think that was that bad. But yeah, Romero, who we all remember for pulling Cucurella's hair, is it this fixture with Thomas Tuchel a couple of seasons? No, last season, I guess it would have been. He just, on his countryman, Enzo Fernandez, does a stupid challenge. He gets the ball, but studs go up on his shin. Red card. You got Jamie Carragher going red card. Everyone's saying red card all day. Tottenham fans, it's a red card. Which, of course, concedes the penalty. Cole Palmer, 3rd penalty in a row, I believe? Or is it 4th? 3rd, I think. To be fair to Vicario, who's probably been the best goalkeeper in the league this season. Hands up. You just got to say it. His save percentage is excellent, and he was on it today as well. He gets a hand to it, but it hits the post and goes in. Chelsea equalise 1-1. And then Tottenham get really unlucky. And look, I don't like to see injuries. Van der Ven just pulls his hammy trying to chase Nico Jackson and has to come off. So both their starting centre-backs are off now. So, of course, Romero is going to be banned for 3 games for a straight red card. But Van der Ven looks like he's going to be out for more than 3 games. So this could really topple Tottenham's winning streak. I mean, their numbers have been unsustainable. If you look at their numbers, overperforming certain metrics and, you know, certain games and like getting a blaggy win against Liverpool, all this kind of stuff. It was unsustainable. But now they've lost both their first choice centre backs for multiple games. And Maddison at the same substitution window gets subbed out because he hurts his, like, it looks like his Achilles. Not really bad because he walks off. But it's off the ball. I thought Reece James fouled him in the area and he was trying to blag a pen. And I was thinking, oh, God. Because they're down a man at this point and they're probably trying to get all they can. But no, it was off the ball. He did something. So he comes off. And they're making crazy amounts of substitutions. Nico gets booked. Levi Colwill and Pape Sarr get into it. And you're thinking, what are we doing, like, lads? You're man up. You've got the goal back. All from the same, action in the penalty. Chill the frig down. Do you know what I mean? And that's why, well, that is exactly why Pochettino took Levi off. And we're a man up so you can afford to be less defensive on that side and bringing Cucurella on. Made sense. At half-time, 10 minutes in, Destiny Udogie makes a foul and he knows as soon as he's done it, he's off. He doesn't like protest. He literally, you can just see his expression. He knows as he's doing it. Oh crap, that's a yellow and I'm done. And he's done. No one complains. Tottenham are down only 15 minutes into the second half to 9 men. Enzo looks a little bit injured. Mudryk comes on. I mean, Mudryk for Fernandez is a hella offensive substitution, and why wouldn't you? You've got 2-man advantage, just friggin' go for it. And of course, like previously mentioned, Tottenham are playing this like ludicrously high line. So yeah, Mudryk runs in behind. And to be honest, spoiler, he's pretty poor until the very, very end, Mudryk. He sort of demonstrates his ability right towards the end. But yeah, a big Ange, who by the way got booked in the first half, presumably for giving a little bit of the gob. Maybe the mask is slipping, ladies and gentlemen. Big Uncle Ange Postecoglou, the darling of the Premier League. I like him so far. Is this the beginning of the end of everyone's, like, you know, positive? And I hate the fact that I like the Tottenham manager, but maybe that's beginning to slip. So he's obviously been booked as well. I'm not sure why, but he makes his final 2 substitutions, bringing in Oliver Skip for Kulusevski, kind of defensive. Remember, at this point, it's 1-1 as well. So he's probably thinking that we'll just try and go super defensive and see out a heroic point and remain undefeated. Bentancur comes on, of course. He's been reintroduced after a long-term injury. He was a really important player for Tottenham last season. So he comes on. So they go sort of full-on defensive. But that doesn't stop them, by the way, at 9 men, giving us loads and loads of fears. But like 14 minutes later, finally we get the goal. Raheem Sterling assists Nico Jackson, which we really wanted. Like, Nico Jackson should have already scored. He had a header that was sort of saved off the line, but he had a free header to just hit it wherever he had time, and he sort of does it in the ground so he can save it over. Really poor. And later on in the game, he should have had a 4th goal. So really, he should have had 5 goals. But hey, we've won 4-1. All season we've been talking about the things we've been doing right, but in the performances, but the results not going our way. Now the results gone our way, and maybe there's a lot of stuff we didn't do right in the game. Who knows? Maybe it's beginning to balance out. But just because we're going 2-1 up in the 75th minute, don't mean jack, ladies and gentlemen. Because I must have had to need to change my boxes several times because Tottenham came forward. Whether it was Son, whether it was, like I said, the Bentancur chance, the Eric Dyer volley. I think it was a volley. And I was just going, and had we had we drawn this 2-2, it would have felt very, very similar to the drawing with Arsenal 2-2. It would have felt like a loss. Of course, Arsenal because we were 2-0 up, and this because even though we're away from home, we were against 9 men, bro. And like, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but the way they were playing, they weren't playing like Brexit ball, low block and counter, even with 9 men. So fair play, Big Ange, for playing this ludicrously high line that eventually you offered us so many chances, and despite us being generally quite profligate in terms of our style, like, yeah, we didn't score goals, it's not really our thing. You kept giving us those chances over and over and over until eventually we score. Reece James comes off for 77 minutes. Protect him. He's the captain. He played rather well. We'll talk about player performances in a moment. Gusto gets booked for time wasting in the 86th minute, which is absolutely mental. We have some other fouls. We enter 9 minutes stoppage time. We end up, we put on Ugachukwu. We're really trying to protect a 2-1 win lead here. He's away from home, and it's the narrative. I love the word narrative. You guys are calling up loads, but Jackson, of course, scores a couple more goals. So he scores goal 2, 3, and 4. All of them are just running on the break, carving over the defence. I mean, he's got to be there to score them, and that will do him good for his confidence. 3 goals ultimately. He should have had more, but it's a Nico Jackson hat-trick, ladies and gentlemen. Right then, so let's talk about player performances. In goal, Rob Sanchez is his name. I think he was good, actually. He couldn't do anything for the goal. He made a couple of saves. His passing looks good. Other than that, you're playing against a hostile atmosphere, but he's 9 men, whatever. Levi Colwill, disappointing. He turns his back for the goal. He gets a yellow. He gets hooked at half-time. Both centre-backs, for me, were disappointing. I think Pochettino looked really pissed off with them as well, shouting at them. Both Thiago Silva and Axel Disasi. They have, of course, played together a lot like that, but still, I don't know. I wonder if, maybe Disasi was probably the worst out of the two, but Disasi looks like he can play better next to his mate, Benoit. Anyway, let me know what you think of the centre-backs. But Reece James played well. He looked really, really threatening, and he played this one diagonal on the outside of his boot, and I was like, oh! And this was in the midst of us looking absolutely diabolical and terrible, and he played this beautiful ball. Pour one out for Moises Caicedo's offside goal, where he's deemed offside because Jackson was maybe a millimetre offside and the ball went through his legs. But it's, as Daniel Sturridge said in the halftime analysis, it's so far out. You can't. He's not interfering with play. It should be a goal for me. It was a great finish. Enzo Fernandez comes off injured, I think, even though Mudryk comes on. It's an offensive change. I think he was okay. I think he had moments that were good. Of course, he won the penalty, but all he needed to do was stood there and be butchered by his countryman Romero. But yeah, I think Enzo Fernandez was pretty good. He's generally always pretty good. Right, Conor Gallagher. He made a couple of high-profile dumb moments, including that just hoofed ball when we're really trying to gain composure against 9 men. But he worked hard. Possibly the best midfielder out of the 3. I'm looking at SofaScore here. I'm glancing. He looks like he's got the highest score. So he is pretty good, Conor Gallagher. He never really lets you down. Cole Palmer for me was the best attacker that we've got. Yes, Nico scored a hat-trick and he'll rightly get plaudits for that. But Cole Palmer just looks mustard. Of course, he got a little bit fortunate with the penalty, the way it went in, but his passing, he's done this all season. Correct passes, and when the pass is not received by a player, it's the recipient's fault or the absence of the recipient. Cole Palmer can seemingly do no wrong at the moment. Like, drink every time I say seemingly, but still, honestly, bro, he was excellent and has been excellent. He looks like an absolute bargain. Of course, he got an assist in this game as well. What else can you say about Cole Palmer, except he's been a magnificent signing? Sterling, of course, he got an assist for Nico Jackson. And did he get one for... I think it's just Nico Jackson. Anyway, he's very, very frustrating. He dived in the penalty area. I'm pretty sure or maybe he tried to buy a penalty. He's a bit soft. He's really frustrating in moments, making the wrong decision, but he's still part of this win. He got himself an assist. He kept running. And ultimately, at the end of the season, I think we'll look at Sterling's numbers and he'll probably have 10 Premier League or 8 Premier League goals and 6 or 7 assists. He'll be like a contributor, do you know what I mean? Like, it will be important. Nico Jackson, I don't think he played that well, but he got a hat-trick. Pick that one out. I mean, I was so happy for him because hopefully we're doing the world of good and he'll kick on. Like, he's just juiced his numbers massively. Like I said, 1 and 2 now, generally, which is pretty elite. Do you know what I mean? Or very serviceable in the Premier League. Of course, he got a silly yellow, but he got 3. He should have had 5. Imagine if he scored 5. That would be amazing for him. Then he'd definitely play well. Look, mate, he got a hat trick. The worst thing about it is he did the Ronaldo celebration. We played well. In terms of substitutes, Kukure was good. Apart from one action towards the end of Mudryk, I thought he wasn't very good, but he didn't get a chance to settle and demonstrate what is an immense ability. Gusto's disappointing for getting that yellow, and I don't know, he didn't settle. And I don't think Ugochukwu did very well and got himself booked. But it didn't matter because we've won 4-1 away at Spurs. Here's your headlines. Tottenham's unbeaten streak finally over at the hands of, again, former manager Mauricio Pochettino, who is now Chelsea. They obviously a massively catastrophic game for Tottenham. Bans for, Udogie, 3 games out for Romero, probably multiple games out for Van de Ven, who knows for Maddison, shipping a lot of goals, of course. But this game could have gone a very different way. Chelsea nearly didn't made themselves look really bad in this game. But, who cares now? We just need to get points. This will look back and just, when the history books, we'll just put this down as a 4-1 Chelsea win. And the first loss of Tottenham in the Premier League. Let me know what you think, guys. Comment down below. You're welcome to subscribe. Hit the bell if you do. Thank you for liking the video. If you want free beer, please do check out my partner, Beer52, simply by clicking the link in the top of the description. Great beers, man. If you didn't watch that ad at the beginning properly because you were too excited, go back and watch it because it's really worth doing it. And yeah, keep it locked. Peace.